for today's game. And we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Dalton's Bengals going up against Rivers' Chargers. They're getting close to kickoff in America's finest city, San Diego. So let's head out west and check in with our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, we are a little less than 10 miles inland from the blue waters of the Pacific Ocean as we greet you from lovely San Diego, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the San Diego Chargers. On 1st and 10, Rivers caught on the left side by Benjamin. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. This offensive unit, often they rely on the sure-handed Antonio Gates.
We know all about his basketball background, but his football acumen, one of the best tight ends in the league.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down. Hey, check. Tight.
To throw is Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Well, looking back, it was a solid season for Williams. 69 catches. He was up over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Fantasy sleeper is an understatement for what he did.
I can't believe you brought him up because I have a feeling you've got your eye on him for your fantasy team or teams for 2017.
I'm just going one team next year, but, man, he was impressive.
Yeah, did you know that he was ranked 81st on one fantasy roster last year?
I'm impressed.
in the draft. That's pretty impressive. He far exceeded that number and expect him to continue to play to that level.
He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time, and it's 2nd down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Carlos Dansby is a versatile linebacker, comfortable at either outside or inside, and always a respected team leader.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. To the air again here, Rivers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. On 3rd down, Rivers. On the screen, this is Woodhead. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Hill. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And here's the offensive unit, and we highlight a very good guy, A.J. Green.
Let's just make it simple. He's a game breaker.
Second down, Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green.
Partner, I was working the Buffalo game when A.J. Green got hurt on, I believe, the 2nd snap. and never came back. A hamstring injury, couldn't finish the season, fell just short of 1,000 yards, which is something he does each and every year.
And that broke his streak of 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. So you're right, he does do it every year. That was week 11 against Buffalo, wasn't it?
Week 11, unable to make it back, but still voted to the Pro Bowl.
Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
For Jeremy Hill, with a season in the rearview mirror, finished just below 1,000 yards. I think 18th in the league in rushing. And his 2 100-yard games both came against Cleveland, I believe.
Yeah, if he could play Cleveland each and every week, he would have been well over 1,000 yards. So the thing about Jeremy Hill and the Cincinnati Bengals offense, you think of them as a run-first team. So to me, his 889 yards, disappointing, because I would have thought that would be a higher number and an increased production from him. He's looking to do that in 2017.
Time quickly to look at the Chargers defense.
Jason Verrett may not have ideal size as a cornerback, but no one plays the ball better in the air than the guy I call Mighty Mouse.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Dalton with a give to Hill. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
To throw, Rivers. Right back for Allen. This time he finds it complete.
Well, Brandon, when I watch Keenan Allen play, I actually shake my head in amazement sometimes. ACL tears in each leg the last 2 seasons, and now he's back in 2017 sprinting around.
And he'll be 25 at the start of the 2017 season. A lot of people rooting for this guy. You just always worry, though, don't you, when you have an ACL tear, especially in both knees? You do worry about it, but you also have seen guys who have come back from multiple tears and have had really big-time careers. You know, Frank Gore has done that, now with the Indianapolis Colts. And then you look at Thomas Davis with the Carolina Panthers. 3 times in the same knee and has come back and had an extraordinary career. So I like the odds for Keenan Allen, and Phillip Rivers really wants him back in a big way. He's his #1 target. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Red zone opportunity.
4 down. Check.
Right over there.
From the red zone now, Rivers. Right side catch. This is Gates. And partner Antonio Gates coming back for another year. It'll be his 15th season in 2017.
And how about, let's just talk about not just the longevity, but he's in a position now where he can break a tie with Tony Gonzalez because they both have 111 touchdowns at the tight end position. Antonio Gates' first touchdown of 2017, that'll break that tie, and he'll be number one.
That's pretty impressive. Probably going to be playing behind Hunter Henry, second-year man, but just the sustainability, how long he's lasted in the league, impressive.
And think about this. Philip Rivers, so excited to have him back because Hunter Henry's playing well, but Mr. Reliable is Antonio Gates. I know an injury knocked Melvin Gordon out of the last couple of games, so he missed his opportunity to get to 1,000 yards. But does the injury hurt more or just the fact he didn't get that 1,000 yards?
Yeah, he was on pace for it, obviously. But coming into the season, people were saying this is going to be a good year for him, and we're going to see a bright Melvin Gordon in the future. We saw glimpses of it.
They restructured their offense in order to give him better opportunities, and he took advantage of it.
Scary. He's only 23, folks. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And oh, he kicked it out of bounds. That's a big penalty.
And this is where the rest of the team turns and stares at the kicker and says, you have one job. Execute it.
Pitch out to Hill. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Green's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
There's nothing like getting out of the gate and finding your favorite target. Andy Dalton just did that with A.J. Green.
And some people call that a nice fantasy football connection as well.
Yeah, they're piling up the points that way. They want to see that continue.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. He's got Green. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Zebra! Blue 10!
3rd and 2 for Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And now it's 4th down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you till the next time you take the field.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
He's going to float into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
2nd down following the run. They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd down, Dalton. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Hill, the lone setback. 1st and 10 for Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
I think in a lot of ways, Tyler Eifert is happy to wave bye-bye to 2016 because of the injury issues. Got hurt in the Pro Bowl. Missed the first 6 games of the season and then couldn't finish the year with another back injury.
Yeah, and the one that hurt, that Pro Bowl injury. Supposed to be such an award for the great year he had a season ago and just never really got things going this year, did he?
Such a difficult matchup, especially in the red zone. Look for a big bounce back in 2017.
Shift together here from the D-line. So Dalton now. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take this one down to the 20-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. And Dalton hands to Hill. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on second down, now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 36 yards out. And Bullock will put this one through, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. On the return, it's Alex Erickson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Now Dalton. And Green with a catch left side. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On second down, Hill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Jeremy Hill, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Rivers. He gets it left side to Johnson. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing Rivers into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And some room to roam now. 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Brandon LaFell, 55 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
And the lead will grow by 1 more. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now San Diego getting set to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And that is incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target. Now 4th down.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
.36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Ready?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and mini camps. We get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
To throw, Rivers. And that's caught inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Danny Woodhead taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
It's up. It's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. A strong running. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. Room here to run. There goes Jeremy Hill, the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jeremy Hill, 79 yards. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now San Diego getting set to go. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they had been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Finds his target. It's Gates. And we're back now in Mission Valley and San Diego. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he's in across the chalk. Touchdown, San Diego. Melvin Gordon, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. Lambo to add on the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. It's second down. Dalton looking. Green with a catch left side. A.J. Green. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 77 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a big-time mess on the return. He's out of bounds. He won't even get this back to the 5-yard line. So out come the Chargers. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punching in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
On second down, Rivers again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And he'll at least get them inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 7 yards to go on second down. And once again, Hill, he's been busy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. One receiver left, that's Allen. To throw is Rivers. It's caught on the right side, Williams. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
The 1st down throw here for Rivers. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Again, it's Rivers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Gates, the veteran tight end, was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. For Rivers. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rivers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. One receiver left, that's Allen. Rivers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Again, it's Hill. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill.
They were stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Now carry number 20 here for Hill. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. On the toss, here's Hill. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from San Diego.